A recurring theme seen throughout our stories is the power of unity and cooperation. There always seems to be a natural fear or distrust of those different than oneself. This type of closed-mindedness seems to constantly be the cause of central tension of the story and one that must be overcome. Learning to open up oneself to new ideas can ultimately lead to succeeding in one's goals in life, and leads to formation of new friendships and improved outlook and quality. Boyd explains how stories transcend real events and connect larger ideas of peace and justice. Stories have the potential to impart new ideas and make people see and conceive things differently. This goes along with the idea of creation and cooperation in the beginning story, in which something great is achieved. In the story of the beginnings, when we find the world on fire, as all the birds flee, one small bird stays behind to drop water from a river onto the raging flames, one drop at a time. When asked what he was doing by another curious bird flying away, the bird says, "I'm doing what I can." This idea at first seems foreign and pointless to the other animals. How could one tiny bird make a difference? But once they open up their minds and take in what he is trying to do, the other birds are motivated to help and do what they can as well. As a result, the birds cooperate and work together to extinguish the flames and save the world. In the story of the Golden Water, the first two sons that set out to rescue their father think of themselves as superior to those of lower class than themselves. On their journey to find the Golden Water and save their father, they are met by an old man that asks where they're going in such a hurry. The first two sons rudely reply, "No time, you low life." They never stop to consider that the old man on the road may know the way to the Golden Water and could be of help. They simply think of him as too different and too low to even speak to. Their close-mindedness and mean attitudes lead to their downfall and entrapment between the rocks of a cliff. It is not until the third brother sets out that we see a change. The third brother hears the man's question as well, and instead of speeding by, he stops and informs the man that he is looking for the Golden Water. Despite the man being of lower class and different from himself, the third son accepts that perhaps this man has wisdom or advice that his unexperienced self does not. The third son is able to open his mind to new ideas and is rewarded by being helped. The man tells the third son of the golden water in the waste in the castle and how to use the iron bar to get in and use the loaves of bread to feed the lion's wane. The advice of the old man is critical to the third son accomplishing his goal and allowed him. I find a connection between the accomplishments and achievements of these characters and our lives at the University of Maryland. I joined a fraternity here at the University of Maryland to branch out, meet new people, broaden my horizons. However, I found the Greek community can be rather secular and exclusive to those different. While our university is very diverse, people tend to group together and stick with those most like themselves. It is easiest to identify with people who share a similar cultural background and the same thought process as Boyd says, although an evolutionary view of human nature will often focus on universals, on common features of our brains and behaviors, it does not ignore or deny the enormous cultural differences between people. I want to transcend these differences between groups here at the University of Maryland. Just as people in our stories learn to accept new people and ideas and are often all the better for doing so. Differences such as ethnicity, race, religion, and all the other factors that make us unique shouldn't stop people from getting to know one another and learn a new way of thinking and benefit from a new perspective. This led to me actively taking up leadership roles in my fraternity. I wanted to reach out to groups that I had not been able to associate with and get to know my fellow students who have different ethnic and cultural values. My Greek leadership retreat grouped members from many different fraternities and sororities together to work towards ways of uniting Greek life, joining forces, and doing great things for the University of Maryland. This inspired me to become active in events that bond together the various people at the University of Maryland to accomplish something that we would be unable to do individually. With the power of all the unique groups, their personal input and philosophies, we put together Terpthon, a dance marathon to benefit the Children's Miracle Network. It was exposure to new ideas, new people, and accepting the thoughts and opinions of those different than myself that opened my eyes to the world of possibility that stems from teamwork, cooperation, and unity. Just as in the stories, I have a greater understanding of the people around me, have learned new ways to think and achieve collectively with different people, and have even made some new friends.